So, what was Rich Dad and Poor Dad really about? Hi, I'm Brian Pombo. Welcome back to Brian J. Pombo Live. This is one of those books that if you haven't read, it's worth going back to. And it was funny because I had read this book years before it was, well, it had just started becoming popular about the time that I was reading it. In fact, this copy's all browned and everything. I think this is my original copy somewhere around, I didn't get it in 98, but it's a 98 printing, 1998. And I read it before a lot of other people did. And as my other friends started reading it, everyone had different reactions to it. Some people, it changed their life. I can name two people I know that completely changed their perspective on life, and they started going in a completely different direction just from reading a simple little book, right? Other people, they didn't get much out of it or didn't even finish reading it. And I was talking with somebody that had just recently read it, that had never read it before, and they said, well, it's all stuff I already knew. I already know that everything that's in that it's common sense. I thought everybody understood that. The plain fact of the matter is, I was going through and kind of leafing through and kind of remembering a lot of these sections, and so much of it I can almost say verbatim because I'm so familiar with Kiyosaki's work, because he tends to say the same things over and over again, has a lot of the same phrases and principles. They're weaved throughout all of his, both his books and his podcasts and everything else that he's put out through the years. And there's one general theme throughout this that I don't think gets talked about nearly enough. Although Kiyosaki discusses it quite a lot, which is about financial education, but the education part, I think, is what's missing. I think what this book is really about, why he's talking about a rich dad, for those of you who haven't read it, the whole concept is he had a rich dad and a poor dad. He had his real dad, was his poor dad, and he was a decent guy, was very well educated, had made a certain amount of money, but did not really know what to do with it, and died in a position of really not having a whole lot of power, and having lost his job and done all this stuff. And really, if he would have known what to do with his money, he would have been in a better position when he passed. And then he had his rich dad, which was his friend's dad, who he hung out with a lot. And he got to see how his thinking was so dynamically different when it came to finances. They were both principled guys and everything, but the rich dad understood some very specific principles when it came to money that other people just didn't get, including his own dad. And so he's discussing that, and he's discussing passing along these concepts, very simple concepts, but very important concepts. And that's really what it's all about. And it reminded me to a lot of business owners I know, and I wanted to talk with you about this. If you haven't read this, please read the book. It's a good book. But it's more important that you read it with the perspective of how could we get this information to younger people's hands or to other people's hands that are open to learning more about these type of things. How can we get this information out there? Because the schools certainly are not teaching it. Not that they are purposefully not teaching it. I don't know if that's true or not, but they certainly don't know enough about it to be able to teach it, even if they wanted to. And that people are not teaching their kids this stuff in general. I'm going to ask you, if you have kids, if you have grandkids, are you teaching them? And not just with your words, are you passing along books like that to them? Are you surrounding them with these concepts? Are you walking through and drawing things out for them? He has, this is one of my favorite things. I've done this over and over with people, and I'm always blown away how many people do not know what a financial statement is. And he's got I think I've shown this on here before. This is the concept of the financial statement. You have income, expenses, assets, and liabilities. I've taken people all ages and walked them through that process and just seen their mind blown by just looking at things in a completely different way. It's nothing new in terms of, well, we know we should save more, and we know we should make more and spend less, all these cliches, there's a deeper level to it that he goes through on here, and nobody ever discusses it. We're not having this discussion between each other or anything else. This isn't part of our everyday conversation, but it probably should be, right? So that's my question to you. Are you passing along? I think principles and everything else are kind of a given. Morality, hopefully you're passing along. But are you passing along the basics in financial wisdom? How to spend money properly. How to make sure you have more coming in than is going out. These are basic things, but most people don't get it. And if you don't believe me, go and start having conversation with the people around you. And I bet you'll find your employees, your vendors, many of them will not understand these things. Start tossing questions out there. Start seeing where people are at. When people start complaining about their finances, sit down with them and draw out a financial statement. It's very simple to do. You don't have to go through an entire budget with somebody. Start having them question where they've come from, because we haven't done a good job. And you got to ask yourself, what can you do more to get financial literacy out there? Simple thing that can make a huge difference in somebody's life. I mean, it could really be life or death for some people. So that's all I got for tonight. If you like something specifically for your business in order to take it from where it's at and take it to where you want it to go, if your growth is being stunted and you know you could be growing faster, go check out my book, 9 Ways to Amazon Proof Your Business. You can get a free copy at amazonproofbook.com. You have a great night. I'll be back tomorrow. In the meantime, get out there and let the magic happen.